It went out. Okay, we're gonna do. Now, I don't watch Kendra G and I don't watch Tasha K. I watch Tasha K sometimes. I used to watch her when she had really good information about different things that was going on in the industry. I watched her when she was covering that whole Derek Jackson thing. So Tasha K had her moments where I would cut on and just check her out and see what she's talking about. But Kendra, don't know much about her. Uh, I just know this last situation that happened at the Essence Fest was a little was a little weird. You get mad at the dude when he wasn't the one that was talking bad about you. It's people in the comments talking about you. But she wanna flex, she wanna show that she got all this money. So let's see what she talking about. O'Shea gonna bring it home for us like he always do. So shout out to O'Shea, man. Let's get this content. Let's go.
And then Kendra G. First of all, she lies about her hair because she ain't got no hair, no edges. And then she lies about men and how she gets men. And I'm like, Kendra has been single.
As you know, Kendra G recently went to the Essence Festival, and she was there with this brother by the name of I Am Truth Hurts. He's a brother that I have been following here on social media, and I got to say, man, I like the brother. He seems like he's a brother from Philadelphia. You know, he's doing his thing, and shout out to the brother. He's really out there doing his thing. He has a pretty interesting story. I believe he was previously incarcerated, and now he's doing his thing. But then the issue is that Tasha K, who doesn't really like Kendra G because there was a back and forth they had about 2 years ago. And Tasha K saw this particular exchange. But before I get into what Tasha K said, check this out.
Asking for, but that could be a challenge too, because we'll get women that literally do make $300,000, literally does have her own home. So now that's her requirement for a man. And then you know as the man, sometimes that man that matches her wage doesn't always select her in a romantic way.
For a woman that wants a high value man, a lot of those women are going to confuse leadership with control. He's going to come in and provide structure. And a lot of self-sufficient women refuse to acclimate when a man comes in their house and provides leadership.
This whole exchange was about what men want in relationships and what women want in relationships. Let me kind of be more specific. Black people of a certain earning bracket. If you look at the ideas here, Kendra G represents rich, successful black women. And I believe that I Am Truth Hurts is coming from the position of that as a man. Now, in order for you to maintain such a position as relationship coaches, well, there should be some qualifications. Number one, you should be in a relationship. And then you should also be living a life in which you don't have any scrutiny.
Well, I can't say that. Not necessarily. Just because you're not in a relationship doesn't mean you can't have an opinion about someone in a relationship, because you probably have dated, have dealt with someone, so you do have an ideal about it, but you can't be for certain. Like there's can't be for certains on things that you're talking about. And then people should listen to other people who are in good relationships and good situations. Like even myself, I'm not in a relationship. I just talk about certain things that I've been through or the things that I felt or feel people should look into. So, and make good choices when you're dealing with people, because people out here and they snakes and they lie and they doing whatever they doing. But like I say, make good choices on the people that you deal with and or you choose to deal with, and maybe it'll work out, maybe it won't. But that's just life.
It means you can't be doing what Derek Jackson is doing or had did in the past, which is you have cheating allegations, or you should not be doing what Dr. Cheyenne Bryant was doing, in my honest opinion, which was lying about her degrees or diplomas, which is probably the reason why she didn't get invited to this thing. So that was the issue. But then Tasha K would bring up this.
Kendra G. She made our tour. I had some information on her during our last tour, and I graced her. I gave her grace. I didn't want to put it out while she was with the scammer, Wow. So I took it on tour. And so I saw her and Truth Hurts on the Essence stage. I'm not going to tell you what the comments were. It was a great thing. People from social media, even though she comes from radio, made the Essence stage. But, I just wish that Essence would just do a little bit more homework before they start putting these people in y'all face, because it says 1 million on Instagram. But when you look at the views, or the truth behind the views, it just doesn't make any sense.
This first point is important because I obviously agree. if you go to Kendra G's YouTube, Kendra G has 1 million followers.
Yeah.
But Kendra G has 1 million followers largely because of the content that is created by other people on her show. Meaning that nobody goes to see Kendra G because it's Kendra G. And these followers are kind of bloated. It's kind of scamming the system. And if you look at some of the reels and the numbers for a page that has 1 million followers, it doesn't really represent that. And the reason why it's so sporadic like this is because largely you don't know who's gonna come on to the show. Now, if you're Tasha K and you have a following, those numbers tend to be more consistent. And that makes sense. But then Kendra G is out here acting as if, people know her. It's her driving the content. And it's kind of the same idea with Anton Daniels. And this is like no disrespect to Anton, but how Anton has built his channel.
Hey, O'Shea, you've been going hard on Anton. It's funny to me. But keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Career, it's largely by grifting. And when I'm saying the grift thing, like he just does reactions. He lets the video play, all right? And somebody else is talking. He sits there in the corner for like 2 minutes while everybody else carries the conversation. So when you look at his YouTube following, which is like 1.46 million followers, but he has like 36,000 views, okay? He rarely will break a long form video over 200,000 views or 300,000 views. And that's just because the audience is blew up because nobody comes to see Anton based on Anton. If you go to his Millionaire Morning Show, you'll see some of the same thing. He'll never have over 40,000 views from a stream. And like I said, and when you look at their numbers, it doesn't represent their audience. While as it does with Tasha K. And that's the other point. The second point was.
But this here, I'm like, first of all, Truth Hurts doesn't lead anyone. His wife does, okay? And his wife is the foundation of that home, and she pays for him and his lifestyle, as well as the hoes that he spends money on. We actually have an interview. Did we just run that trailer? We just ran that trailer?
Wow.
Yeah, the side chick. I ain't even put her name out. I ain't even put the chick name out. He said, when he said life was stupendous.
Hey, this Tasha K can get some information, man. She always get the info. Damn. Ugh.
I said, and the irony of you sitting up trying to give women advice on how they should be for men when you out here still cheating. That ain't no allegedly, y'all. This is no different than Fresh and Fit being on the Essence stage.
So I Am Truth is really not a provider kind of guy. And that's the kind of story that he has sold. Again, I don't know how true this is. I don't know the brother. Like I said, I liked his stuff and what he's been doing. But she said that she has certain level of receipts to show that he indeed has been cheating on his wife. And that's the issue that she has, and that basically he's using the money from their business to trick on these females, and in fact has some level of interview coming up with some lady that is indeed going to talk about the fact that he's out here clapping. Now, let me just say this for the brothers like him. I don't necessarily see him as a panderer. I do see him as somebody, though, who is more or less polarizing to each side, in which he kind of really doesn't care from what I've seen from him. So I don't really see him as a panderer from one side to the other. I just think whatever he feels that day. But I'm pretty sure he gets a lot of opportunities in the relationship area. And to have an audience this big, and while he is married, okay, yeah, it's gonna be hard. I don't know if him and his wife have this agreement set up, but of course, even if your wife does agree to letting you clap, let's say if this is true, the people in the relationship industry are not gonna take kindly, especially when you're dealing with corporate stuff. When you get involved to Essence, that's corporate, okay? So when you're living a corporate lifestyle, you gotta have your stuff together, okay? You just do. You gotta have your stuff together, and you can't be having these chicks on the side when you're dealing with corporate brands. You're dealing with, BT, Ebony Essence, the black brands that women like. You just can't do it, okay? Whether your wife says it or not, can't do it. Then,
first of all, she lies about her hair because she ain't got no hair, no edges. And then she lies about men and how she gets men. And I'm like, Kendra has been single her entire life. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. They ain't put her on there just because for the simple fact, of the doctor controversy. But had that doctor controversy never came out, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant would have been on that stage. Because the program festival organizers, they look at the IG numbers and they say, oh, they got 1 million, so they'll sell tickets. I don't know a person in their right mind that's going to take relationship advice from either one of these grifters. Now, Oprah done gave Kendra G a show to teach y'all how to get a man, but she ain't got no man yet.
So this last allegation comes at Kendra G being bald-headed, not having no hair, and which is really not that important, but that she got a show with Oprah and she's trying to get women or trying to coach women even though she got a show with Oprah. Well, here's what's going to happen. The Oprah Network and Kendra G, again, a lot of this stuff in the entertainment world is who you know, and it's a lot of grifting, not a whole lot of value addition. It's just bag chasing, right? So you have these inflated numbers on social media and, you get to meet people give you deals, all of that. Well, the issue is that you actually have to produce. And if that series doesn't do well, you're screwed for almost everything in the future. And from what I know about what I can see with Kendra G's kind of setup with the dating show thing and what people have complained about the app, I don't know if there's a lot of investment going in there. And I don't know if the audience is big enough to watch it. I don't know. But, just because she's getting in with inflated numbers, that don't mean that people will watch. Because if you look at the numbers on the Instagram, people watch based on something else. And if the show flops, which it has a very good chance of doing, it does. And the reality is Black America is like no different than anywhere else. It's, clout-driven market, who you know. And that's no different than what I see here in Africa. Kendra G does some level of work, and so does the brother, right? It is more about clout, and that's what people do. Anton chases clout with static numbers. Kendra G does the same thing. I don't really know about the I Am Truth's brother. I don't really know about him. Seems like he's probably the most legit out of all of them, for what I can see of his content. But overall, you can keep clouting yourself into the kind of fake it till you make it zone. And then there's a while where that dog just don't hunt or won't hunt. And it's just very difficult to continue that route when, again, at a certain level, you're gonna be going outside. And so what do you guys think? Is Kendra G reaching? Is she lying here? Let me know. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.
Well, truth is, you're going to always have these grifters. They ain't going nowhere. You're going to always have people who leverage what's out there to be manipulated. So if you can manipulate the numbers and make people believe that you're bigger than what you are, you're going to use it to your advantage. I mean, that's just human nature. You're just going to use it to your best of your ability. You're going to do what you can. You're going to try to make as much money as you can. And it doesn't matter if you're lying about your relationship, you're lying about your situations, like they saying about truth hurts. Like I said, I don't know much about Kendra G and her show. I've watched it on a couple of podcasts and reaction channels and stuff like that about who she was and the type of show she does and the type of women that's on there and the ignorance sometimes and some of the stuff, she may check somebody, she may say something that fairly makes sense. But at the same time, people with advice is just like, they say, uh, opinions are like assholes. Everybody got one. So, I mean, I don't know where people thinking that people not gonna give their opinion about something if someone asks. So, especially when it's dealing with a situation to where you can make a lot of money doing it. The whole thing with the Oprah show, yeah, she has a. I don't think she's probably going to be successful with that because she really don't hook up people. It's not a hookup culture. She basically like interviews someone about who they are and what they want. The type of people that's on there actually um have bad situations or are coming out of a bad situation or have some type of issue that where they're on here looking for someone and maybe you could find me a man, but they have like weird situations. A lot of the stuff that I've seen. Now, they may have more content than that, but the content that I've seen has always been like weirdos or, little women who have like weird situations or got a lot of kids and stuff like that. So nothing I'm really interested in or interested in watching. And they want this big bag of money. They want people to come in already ready and trying to take care of them. Yeah, that's just not my type of content. But anything like I know he mentioned like Anton Daniels is funny because boy, like I say, bro been going hard on Anton and I mean probably rightfully so because Anton, he talks a good game, talks about how he doing all these things, and I used to watch Anton's content. I think the whole Mika situation kind of threw me off because he talks all this situation with his wife and how he moves as a man, and it just kind of like seemed like he's just full of it and just all talk. But I don't have much to say about it. You know, I don't know about owning her own show or doing her own show with Oprah or whatever. We'll see what happens. Just like I say with the guy Truth Hurts, everybody's got an opinion. So no matter what going on, he's a good looking dude. Women's gonna watch him. He's gonna have a platform to talk on, and somebody's gonna listen. Look at Derek Jackson. Nobody cared. Derek Jackson went through the internet streets and just caused ruckus all over the place. And it was funny because people knew he was full of shit. People called him out for his shit, and no one cared. They still watch him. They still buy his books. He's still relevant to this day. Maybe not as big as he was, not every platform or everywhere all over the internet, but the guy is still out here doing what he's been doing. But that's it for me. And hey, if you like the show, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and we're gonna come back with this content. We're gonna get you right. Let's get it. It's your boy KD. Holla.